a very warm welcome to England's Tom Abell.
Well, yeah, sounds so surreal. It's been an incredible few days, to be honest, obviously, since the announcement. I woke up to a message a couple of days ago. I had a few missed calls overnight from Matthew Mott, and yeah, I woke up to a message saying you've been picked in the T20 and the one-day squad. So it certainly wasn't expected. Yeah, just incredible feeling, obviously very proud moment for myself and my family and hopefully everyone at Somerset. But yeah, just don't really know how to react or what to say, to be honest. It's just been an amazing few days.
What was that initial feeling? We often hear about players ignoring calls and then picking up the voice message, but what was going through your head? Did you think it was someone winding you up, or?
Well, as I say, I had a few. I was asleep when Matthew Mott tried to call, and yeah, obviously, first thing in the morning, you're not quite all there, are you? When I saw the message, so I had to check it twice, and yeah, my heart just dropped a little bit. Yeah, I certainly sort of just had to take stock for a minute and check I was actually reading right. But yeah, I couldn't believe it, to be honest with you. So it wasn't necessarily on my radar. But yeah, just an incredible feeling, and as I say, so proud, and I've had so many amazing messages the last few days from friends, family, and see everyone at the club. So hugely grateful for all those as well.
Who was the first person you told?
Oh, I told my family. I tried to call them, but didn't get through. So I just sent them a message before I went to bed. The next day, I think. Yeah, so obviously wanted to let my family know first and foremost. Very close, and I think it was quite emotional, and they were very proud and so happy for me. It just doesn't seem real, to be honest. Obviously, I've been sort of working, hard for a long time, and obviously it was always a dream. So for it to become a reality, or just to be involved in a squad, is incredibly special.
We talked about, what playing for England eventually would mean to you over the last few years. Being selected for your international side is the pinnacle of any player's career. How does that make you feel?
Again, if I'm honest, it doesn't feel real. I don't think it's fully sunk in yet. But yeah, I guess the wave of sort of support and good feeling that I've had over the last few days has certainly made it a little bit more real. And I appreciate how much it means not only to myself and my family, but to everyone connected with the club. And yeah, I'm just so grateful for the support and the good wishes that I've had. Obviously, it's nice being involved in the squad, and hopefully I can get an opportunity out there. But obviously, it's a strong squad, and yeah, just so excited about the potential opportunity and to be a part of it. Obviously, England's white ball cricket is in such a their cricket in general is in such a healthy place at the moment. So to be a part of that for the first time, as I say, it's a boyhood dream and doesn't get much better. I've got to pinch myself at times.
It must be a huge boost for your confidence to be selected in what is essentially two World Cup winning squads.
Absolutely. I certainly recognise that there's obviously a few players that aren't available in the squad, but I certainly won't take away from the sense of pride and happiness that I felt to be selected in those squads. And as you say, playing in a team with Josh Butler, who's been a massive inspiration and role model, it's going to be amazing. And as I say, it's something that I can't wait for. It's a new, fresh challenge for me. So yeah, I'm going to have to learn pretty quickly, but it's going to be an incredible experience, I have no doubt.
I know you're a very modest chap and won't give yourself the credit that you're due, but it wasn't that long ago. You were breaking into the Somerset team and were considered potentially as a red ball player. In that, in the last few years, you've developed your game. It's a 360 game, a multi-format game. You've got to take a huge amount of credit and put the modesty to a side a little bit. You must be delighted with how your game has progressed over the last few years to have gone from being considered a red ball player to now being an England white ball squad member.
Yeah, it's crazy how it happens, and as you say, I think there's been, quite a shift in my game over the sort of last 4 or 5 years, and I've certainly tried to involve and develop my white ball cricket. Of course, I have sort of aspirations in all formats, but obviously right now it would seem sort of my closest opportunity is in white ball cricket. And yeah, cricket is a funny game because you have times of real confidence where you feel like you're playing really well, and then you have plenty of times through the season where you have those doubts about your game and your ability. And yeah, I don't think you ever sort of fully probably realize where you are on the radar in terms of international cricket. As I say, there's times when I felt like I played really well, but yeah, if I'm honest, it has come as a little bit of a surprise. I didn't have it on my radar, but yeah, I'm just absolutely thrilled to have got the call. Of course, to have potentially the opportunity to represent my country is something that I don't take for granted.
It shows as well what a great position the club is in, Somerset, doesn't it? When you've got Somerset players regularly being selected in England squads, Somerset players regularly being selected in international franchise white ball tournaments like we've seen at the moment. It shows that that the club's doing something right.
Absolutely. Obviously, we all sort of want to win for Somerset, but equally, we as a club we want to try and produce players for England. And it's amazing to see so many guys, and girls sort of through our system really involved in England programs and England teams right the way up. So, as you say, it's a brilliant thing that the club are producing players. And yeah, I guess it's an amazing feeling to be adding to that list.
You touched on it earlier, the amount of messages you've had. Have you been surprised by the amount of messages that you've had, and from all walks of life, from teammates, opponents, office staff, former office staff? I mean, the whole of cricket seems to be absolutely delighted that you've got this call.
Yeah, absolutely. I have been really taken aback by the number of messages. I've been pretty unsociable the last couple of days, to be honest, just trying to get back to people. And as I said earlier, it sort of really made it hit home for me how, how special it is, and the good feeling that I've experienced from so many friends and family has I guess made it even more special, if that's possible. So yeah, just hugely grateful for the incredible support. It certainly doesn't go unnoticed.
Does your story as well show that that you get out of stuff what you put in? If you put the hard work in, you get the rewards. A lot of the time, we see some players go straight from a county first team into the international setup, but you've done the hard yards coming through the second 11, through the Somerset first 11, and then regular appearances for England Lions. But it shows that there is a gradual pathway. You don't have to be snatched from domestic cricket into the international limelight straight away. It shows that the rewards are there for the hard work.
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, everyone's journey is different. Everyone's path is different, and of course, to get the recognition and to be called up is one thing. I certainly want to try and kick on now and try and perform at that level. That's obviously the next challenge for me. But yeah, everyone's path is different. I've obviously played the last few years and tried to sort of earn my stripes. And yeah, it happens at different times for different people, but it doesn't make it any less special. I see sort of day in, day out how hard people work for their opportunities. And yeah, look, I'm just incredibly grateful that I've been the one to get the call this time.
Obviously, there's been a lot of talk about the England full team white ball call up. There's a small matter of captaining the Lions coming up for you, even closer in the future, and again a huge honour, I imagine.
Of course, it's been a pretty hectic sort of couple of months, really, and obviously we've got a big one-day series coming up against Sri Lanka A for the Lions, which I'll be leading, and yeah, hopefully I can sort of perform well in that, and we can get some good results, and that will be big to try and take a little bit of confidence into the Bangladesh tour, because yeah, I guess your first time in a different environment, in an England environment, you want to try and put your best foot forward and play well. So that's certainly something that I'll be looking to do.
looking ahead to the 2023 domestic season now, obviously you've been playing throughout the winter with the Lions in the franchise tournaments. You're going away with England now. Do you think that's going to be able to put you in a good place to hit the ground running? Is that, from your perspective, a more, I guess, profitable winter for yourself rather than doing the hard yards in the indoor school? I guess you can't beat being out there on grass.
Yeah, I really hope so. Obviously, last winter I had spent a little bit more time at home, and this winter I've had a few more opportunities abroad. And cricket is a massive confidence sport, and I think when you're going abroad into different environments, and if you can put in some decent performances, it can do your confidence the world of good. And ultimately, I want to be coming back to Somerset at the start of the season in a pretty good place with my game, and I feel like that at the moment. And of course, getting the call up to an England squad has really sort of given me a huge boost. And it's going to be a big month. It's going to be a real challenge for me, but hopefully I can sort of take that opportunity with both hands and come back to Somerset in a really good place and hit the ground running at the start of the season.
And what would constitute success for Somerset in 2023? We've seen, some excellent recruitment work having been done. The younger players are going to be another year down the road of experience. What can Somerset realistically achieve this year, and what are your hopes and dreams for Somerset in 2023?
Yeah, look, I think we always obviously get dragged into talking about winning competitions, and that is, of course, that's the aim and the goal for all of us. I think, we've had a little bit of time over the winter to reflect on, I guess, a year and a half, particularly in Championship cricket, where we haven't quite been at our best and played to our potential. But we've certainly taken stock, and I guess as a group, we'll probably come together at the start of the season and in pre-season and really sort of try and come together and identify how we want to go about things as a team and how we want to play our cricket, particularly in Championship cricket. Of course, the last couple of seasons in the T20, we've made the finals day, but we're an ambitious group. We want to be competing at the top of all competitions, really. But there's so much water to go under the bridge. There's so much work to be done before that, and we don't want to get sort of sucked into thinking too far ahead. We've got to look at the here and now, and I know it's a little bit cliche, but we've got to take care of what's in front of us. And I guess our sole priority will be making sure we start the season well. We obviously didn't get off to a great start last year, and momentum's a funny thing. When you're winning, you get used to it, and equally, sort of, if you don't start well, that can become a habit as well. So we'll be looking at that first game and making sure that we're in a good place to start well.
And just finally, do you have a message for those people who have sent you well wishes over the last sort of 48 hours?
Oh, I just cannot say thank you enough. It really does mean the world to me, and I'm so grateful for all the good wishes and the support. I always feel very fortunate to have the support that I do. So yeah, just a massive thank you, and looking forward to seeing everyone back in for the start of the 2023 season.